in my life.
No, I mean, Melissa McCarthy was one of the people I kept coming back to because Melissa McCarthy I first met on Go. And so she got cast as the girl that you and Adam go to see who tells you that you've been having the affair with.
Like, do you guys know?
You guys know? Oh, it was so funny. And so she just got cast, and she was amazing. And so you shot the thing at like 3 a.m, and I didn't last that late at night, so I didn't end up seeing her there, but I saw her in jail. I was like, wow, you're astonishing. And so I bumped into her at Starbucks.
She just giggled the whole scene. She couldn't believe that these two guys, like she knew we were having an affair with the same guy, and she kept it secret from both of us. And then there we are at her door, and you're right. Yeah. She really killed it.
Yeah, she's great.
It's great.
And so I bumped into her at Starbucks, and it turned out we lived very close to each other. And I said, like, oh, hey, you don't really know me, but I'm John August. I wrote Go, and you're great in Go. You haven't seen it yet, but you're great. And I'm gonna write something for you, and we're gonna like shoot a short film because you're amazing. And she's like, she thought you're a crazy person, but okay. And so then I wrote this thing, God, for her, and we went and shot it as a short film. And I took the short ends we had left over from the reshoots on Go and some of the crew from Go, and we shot this little short film. And that became Melissa's reel for a long time. And so she'd send it out for casting, and that's what got her Gilmore Girls and got her started on other stuff.
And you put her in the Nines too, right?
Yeah. And so I wrote.
Did you write that for her?
I wrote that for her.
Did you write for Ryan Reynolds?
No. Actor to be determined. It was going to be hard to find a person who could play all 3 parts, but when I met Ryan, he was the guy.
And is it, to come back to an earlier question that I don't think I got out well, when you're writing a project, I mean, I know Johnny Depp was attached, and then, right? And
yeah,
then
he was
when you came on.
Yeah.
But like when you're writing like Big Fish, do you have people, when you write anything, are there people in your mind that you picture saying these words? Or
some projects I definitely know, like I have somebody in my head, and even if it doesn't become that person,
right?
It's incredibly helpful to, especially comedy, like you can see, like hear how those words would come out of that person's mouth. But Big Fish, I didn't have anybody cast for that. I didn't know how we were going to do the split between the old and the young, and how that all was going to work.
But then, how do you do it? I mean, that's interesting to me, John. Like there's this nebulous, nothing, ether character. So you really,
I picture sort of this person in my head who's not a real.
You
actor.
picture a fictional, like when you read a book.
Yeah, it's totally like reading a book.
So when you read Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory as a child, how you pictured those people. You know, they've been trying for years, you know this, to make Confederacy of Dunces.
Oh, yes.
It was Philip Seymour Hoffman. It was this.
But it's an impossibly described character, if I remember right.
Impossibly, and it would have to be like an enormous, louder than like Farley probably could have done it. Like it could have been his Oscar. Do you know what I mean? And Philip Seymour Hoffman possibly. But that book, when you see the paperback of that book, they really fucked it up in my opinion. I mean, not the book, it's perfect. But the fact that there's an artist's drawing of that character on the cover,
limits you.
It took me 110 pages to go, stop thinking of that. Like, I wound up on the subways of New York, I ripped the cover off because I was so frustrated picturing this stupid cartoon drawing of this guy with his big bushy Bruto mustache. I'm like, you cheated me out of creating this guy in my head. So when you write like, Big Fish, and when you write these people, you get to create these people.
Absolutely.
And then when people come in to read, did they have to sort of sync up with what the character was in your mind?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes people bring a completely different energy that's just awesome. And I love casting. I loved casting for Go. Everyone came in, and you have to see it was a chance to keep making the movie time after time after time by hearing different people read through scenes. You see what the possibilities
So you're seeing different drafts of what you wrote, judging by who comes in to read it out loud to you.
Absolutely, and that's amazing. And that's honestly the thing I liked most. The TV stuff I've done is that you see these people come in, and you realize am I excited to write for them every week? And sometimes there are people who are just like, wow, you're going to be amazing. I know I could throw anything at you, and that's cool.
The unsung hero of Go is the guy that played Loop.
Oh my God, he was so funny. I remember you calling him out as being the guy, everyone were going to be working for him.
He was Bill Fichtner's undercover cop partner. He had orange hair. I don't even remember his name. Yeah. But he has a take. Bill Fichtner's got me against the wall, and he's essentially like grabbing my nuts and feeling my thighs, and he's got Scott Wolf against the wall, and he's like, whoa, you guys got nice abs. You work out. Like, everything's so uncomfortable. This cop has us physically by the balls. He just has us, and everything's ambiguous and weird. We don't know what's going on. And we'll do anything to not have this hit the papers. Yeah. And he's feeling our abs. Like, do you guys work out? And Scott Wolf goes, we have to. It's in our contracts. He goes, yeah, I could tell. Check this out, man. And he's like making us feel his legs and shit. And I remember that kid that played Loop. in the script, his name was Luke. He comes in from the other room holding a box of surveillance equipment, and he just stares at like his boss, essentially just rubbing two actors' tummies and asses and thighs, and the look on his face. And then Bill Fichtner looks up and goes, "What?" And do you remember what he says?
Nothing. Oh, nothing. What did he say?
I was spaced out. Like, he didn't want any part of it. And it was the only word that could get him out of that situation was not like, nothing, I just thought of something. He goes, he's just holding that box with that long orange hair, and he goes, no, I just thought of something. Or I just spaced out. It's just so fantastic. And I'm like, that is something that won't get the credit it deserves. Yeah. So if you're out there, a guy that played...
shots. Yeah.
Huh?
Comedy is the reaction shots.
You're right.
Yeah.
You want to write more comedy?
I do. So I don't know the next thing. The thing I owe for Fox is a comedy, and hopefully people will make it, and that'll happen.
Then make it come back, and we'll promote the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what you need, is 200,000 people scattered all over the world.
That's what I need, absolutely. We all need 200,000 people.
And your podcast.
Yeah, I have a podcast called Script Notes, which is me and Craig Mazin talk about screenwriting and things that are interesting to screenwriters.
I mean, that's what is needed in podcasting. Like, there's enough comics like smoking pot and, talking about whatever.
Gigs.
Like, that time we got in a fight in the fucking bus. Blah. So, but the fact that you're like actually providing a service, it's basically like the Learning Addicts, but a palatable Learning Addicts on a podcast with two super likable guys.
And I don't have to go anywhere. That's the thing. It's like, I would teach a class, but I don't have to get in my car and go to school. I don't want to ever do that.
Are you on your own network? Are you on a network?
No, I'm not on any networks. We just
do it yourself.
Just do it ourselves.
I just now figured out DIY means do it yourself. Like this week.
That's awesome.
Because Aisha Tyler does Girl on Guy, and she's tremendous. And she goes, well, and in an email, she goes, I've always been total DIY. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And I asked Corey, my production partner, and she goes, do it yourself. And I go, oh my God.
This whole time you thought it was something else.
Oh my God, I'm not down with the lingo the kids are using. So your podcast, John August. Mm-hmm. Tell us, you just type in what?
It's on iTunes. We're called Script Notes, and people seem to like us. And so we do it every week. It's every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, you should subscribe to John August Script Notes. Leave comments. John's a guy. He's super on Twitter. He'll answer your questions. You always post interesting things on Twitter. You don't just use it to fucking take pictures of your calves after a workout, which I'm waiting for, actually.
Yeah.
So at John August.
Yeah.
Is there an underscore?
No.
Fucking underscores are killing us, right?
Yeah. The underscores, it ruins it. You don't know what that is, and sometimes you can't see it if it's under. Yeah, it's tough.
So at John August on Twitter, and come back, man. And you really, more than anybody in your position, effortlessly and silently give back, like with johnaugust.com. The fact that you answer those.
No, I try to.
Because some of those questions are sorry to use a horrible word, they're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
But you answer them as if like, hey, man,
actually,
whatever helps.
I've started outsourcing a little bit more of that, too. We have a second site called screenwriting.io, which is just like those really basic questions, because I just can't answer those same questions anymore. Like what font should I use? Like, you should use Courier. I'm not going to waste a whole post on Courier. If I could answer it on Twitter, I'm like, Courier, done. Is
there a question you remember specifically on that that really took you aback?
I just love when people write in I have an idea for a TV show. Who should I sell it to? I'm like, you're just...
Texaco.
Texaco loves the Texaco radio hour. They love
ConocoPhillips. They go fucking... procedural drama about a hospital? ConocoPhillips goes batshit for that. You got to do that. I like when people... I'll tweet... Twitter is the most, not realistic version of anything.
Yeah.
Like, you'll tweet, hey... I'm going to be in the Ontario Mills Improv. Or I'll use something coming up so maybe people will hear it and go, I'm going to be at the Comedy Works in Denver. June 1st, Comedy Works in Denver. June 1st. And then June 7th, someone will tweet hey, when do you ever get out to Denver? And you're like, well, the fact that you're on fucking Twitter, how did you miss that? That's all I did for two. John just goes,
Yeah, I know. It's maddening.
The key to Twitter is do not ever check your comments page.
Yeah.
I would not know how terrible I was.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Twitter, I would just be a happy dad of two, a good husband.
The weird thing is, if you actually have a real blog where people can write long comments, sometimes they'll write these epic essays, and it's like, why did you spend your time doing this? So two people could maybe see this. It's like,
but at least they're accountable because you have their email address to get onto your blog. Where on Twitter, it's Milkman10.
They could fake that if they wanted to.
Really?
They could. Yeah, I don't have verification on it. Comments are a whole weird thing. Twitter, I don't really care. Like, cause someone can insult me to 140 characters. And you can block them. It's easy to block people on Twitter if you need to.
I think I've set the world record for blockage. JohnAugust.com. I can't really say enough good things about you, brother.
And the one thing I thought you'd bring up, which you didn't bring up, is that you and I have kissed the same man.
The Jimmy from Makeup?
Jimmy from Makeup. So we'll end with this.
Right. I slid into home. I stood up. I'm waving to the crowd, and you're like, hold on. Curtain call.
One last moment here. So this is awkward conversations because we were shooting this.
Not awkward for me.
No. So we're shooting it was awkward for Doug Liman. We were
because he also no.
Yeah. So quite late into the shoot, and the crew of this movie, by the way, they were a wonderful crew, but the crew never actually reads the script. So they just like show up like, what are we doing today? They're looking through the sides.
Oh, it's a rave. Lots of hot chicks.
Hot chicks and all this stuff. And then I remember it was that night of shooting, and I heard to the gaffers talking like, did you know that like Adam and Zach are gay? And like he's going to kiss this guy. There's something like they had just no idea what was actually happening in the story. So there's this moment in the movie where you guys meet the guy who you've both been having the affair with. And so it's scripted that you have to kiss him, and then like it's revealed that Adam is there too. And so Doug was like, well, what should that kiss look like? Because Doug was like, what should that be like? And so we're talking to, do you remember the guy's name who played?
But he was the hair guy.
He was the guy.
He was the actual hair guy in the movie. He wasn't an actor.
Yeah.
He was an employee, I know now, of Sony.
Yeah, an employee of Sony. And so we'd asked him, like about a week before, we'd asked, like, hey, would you be willing to play the guy that played Jimmy?
Would I?
Would you like to?
No, I'd rather be in the trailer trying to get a cat nap while you guys work in the rain.
And so Doug Liman said, like, well, brought him over, like, what's this going to look like? I was like,
only Doug would ask what a fucking kiss would look like.
Yeah.
Like, well, Doug, when guys kiss,
it's a totally different thing.
It's customary to have a bottle rocket in your ass lit. And the other man has to have sangria. Not white, not red. It has to be sangria and breadsticks from the Olive Garden. I don't know. You didn't know that, obviously, Doug. It's totally different.
The easiest way out of the situation was me to ask the guy, like, can I just kiss you so I can show what this is going to look like? So I kissed the guy, and we figured out timing on it, and it's like, and we said, like, is that okay? Is that going to work? It's like, yeah, it's going to be fine. And then you kissed him later that night. All
right, so you were in the makeup trailer, and you kissed the guy to show Doug how
it wasn't even in the makeup trailer. It was like literally just standing outside that hangar.
But what the fuck did he want to know?
I think he just wanted to know how long it should be or what it should look like. He was weirdly awkward around all the sex stuff. Like when we shot that three-way
scene.
But
that would be an awkward scene with like if someone asked me to kiss a woman.
Yeah.
With a guy, it's almost less awkward because it's just the gig.
It's just the gig. And
with a woman, like if you asked me to kiss him, I would be less. I think I'm not sure.
I thought you were there for this kiss for the timing. You don't remember being there. I think another producer was there too. But it was a whole discussion. And so the whole performance
of how long it had to be long enough to cut his hair.
Yeah,
because the thing is, I make out with the guy long enough for Scott Wolf to go behind him and take scissors out and cut off giant locks of his hair.
Yeah,
that's how we got him back.
Yeah, but it's not actually a great moment. If I could go back and reshoot,
it's all anyone asked me about, and they fuck it up and they go, "Would you like to make out with Scott Wolf?" I'm like, I don't know, I never made out with Scott Wolf that you know of. Maybe at Verona Park, on the paddle boats, maybe we did it.
Of
sure.
the many things we reshot for Go, I kind of wish we had reshot that one because I feel like there's there was a funnier moment to be played there, and it ends up being kind of you feel kind of bad for the guy.
You should have lit him on fire.
Yeah, I don't know.
What would you have done differently?
You feel sort of bad for the guy. You don't sort of like Adam and Zach in that moment. You don't feel like a moment of like happy revenge. It just didn't work.
But you had such rave music. There was so much going on.
There's a lot going on
that you were able to talk about kitchen cabinets. You were able to tuck it in with the good china.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think anybody noticed that it was anticlimactic at all. But the thing that made it weird, I'm glad you brought that up. And well, this would be good.
Yeah.
In theory. But in your head, replaying that scene, by the way, exceptional acting in your head.
Thanks.
And you did a really good impression of everybody. Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah, I do it for the radio audience, so they can
I love your head acting. I love that whole concept. I saw Russell Brand on YouTube doing a show at Uncab, and a woman in the audience goes, "Your body language, be quiet." And then he starts talking, and he looks over and he goes, "Shut up!" He's talking to her body. He doesn't like her body language. He doesn't like the way she's talking with her body. Like, what's your problem? So, but you didn't hire an actor to stand at the bar and turn around and be kissed. You hire the hair guy, who it was a gay gentleman who was just not an actor, just a guy that just got caught up in the production. So here in hindsight, maybe don't hire a guy I have to see at 6 a.m. for the next month who's doing my hair like, hi.
You'll notice you didn't see him the next month because we fired him like 2 days later.
Why?
Because so apparently I don't know
You
the
like
whole
how
story.
I made it like a total worst like
so
what was
apparently
me story and I'm wrong?
The department had decided they were going to get rid of him, but because we'd already decided we were going to use him, we couldn't get rid of him before we used him, and so they wanted him gone, but we had to use him for the shot because
I think if he was smart, he would have went right to human resources and say, they fired me. Jay Mohr and Scott Wolf had me fired because of the way I kiss.
Yeah, maybe so.
Let me get this straight.